Trump says he wants to take over the Gaza Strip. If you haven't seen the clip, I'm going to play it right now.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it.
So people are reacting to this and saying, like, oh, you cannot do that. You cannot do this. But they're ignoring what he said before this.
It's been an unlucky place for a long time. Being in its presence just has not been good, and it should not go through a process of rebuilding and occupation by the same people that have really stood there and fought for it and lived there and died there.
He's got a point.
And lived a miserable existence there.
So he has a point. You know, in life, you get dealt cards, and those are the cards you're dealt. Now, they have been dealt a bad hand, right? And it could have been anyone. It could have been you. It could have been me. It's anybody. If you were given those cards, that's it. He has a point. We can go through the same thing over again. They rebuild, and it's gonna get invaded again, and we're gonna keep going through this process. So at least he has an idea to maybe break the cycle. I mean, let's just look into it a little bit. I mean, I got a lot of hate earlier about talking about Trump's plan to essentially deport US prisoners to other countries. It's an idea. Either way, you're going to be paying for these prisoners anyways. If they're repeat offenders or lifelong offenders, they're going to cost money. Might as well find a way to reduce that cost. In a way, it makes sense. Is it the right thing to do? Probably not, but it's an idea. So let's just look into this real quick. Okay, so I believe that they said that it's going to cost at least $100 billion to rebuild Gaza. Not all that's coming from one place. It's going to come from multiple countries or people or investors. And what's the first thing you look at when you're thinking about this kind of project? How do I get my money back? That's the first thing. Let's be real. You think Elon really cares about gutting, government waste? No, there's money to be made. They're cutting the National Weather Agency, which is responsible for weather forecasts. And airlines use it, farmers use it, a lot of people use that service. It's very important. Now, what's going to happen is they're going to privatize that. Somebody is going to make a whole bunch of money from them cutting this service. It's a very vital service. Let's just be real. Nobody does anything for free. Do you think on the Democratic side, do you think they really cared about the green initiatives? No, there was money to be made. At the end of the day, all these politicians are buddies. They're co-workers. And they act like they're at war with each other, but we've seen it. They're fine behind the scenes. Anyways, we gotta figure out, are there any natural resources worth getting? Ooh, so it looks like in the early 2000s, they found some natural gas off the coast that could contain up to 1 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. That's interesting. Looking at this map makes me feel like the whole point of everything is to get access to these fields. I'm now reminded about the time Lindsey Graham was talking about why America should be committed to Ukraine.
They're sitting on $10 to $12 trillion of critical minerals in Ukraine. They could be the richest country in all of Europe. I don't want to give that money and those assets to Putin to share with China. If we help Ukraine now, they can become the best business partner we ever dreamed of. That $10 to $12 trillion of critical mineral assets could be used by Ukraine.
Anyways, what do you guys think about America possibly taking over the Gaza Strip?